Hello guys, this is just one guy, and today I'm here with Phoenix Point, and I wanted to talk about why Phoenix Point's shooting is so much better than XCOM and XCOM 2's. Now this was really interesting from a game developer's point of view, and I just want to talk about it on my channel today. And I'm just going to go to my sniper and move him right here.
Moving now. Enemy in visual range.
Now as you can see, they spotted the enemy. Now in XCOM, I would
Acquiring
just hit the
target.
button right here. It would give me the percentage to shoot, and I would decide whether to take the shot or not, and it would either miss or hit, and that would be the end of it. But to talk about why the shooting is better, so much better in Phoenix Point, we first have to talk about the problems with the shooting in XCOM. Now, the problems with the shooting in XCOM is that it's percentage-based shooting. And you might ask, what's the problem with that? Now, the problem with that is, we're just going to go to the enemy right here. No matter how good of a shot I had on the enemy, even if my percentage was 99%, or because of the way the game worked, even 100%, I would still have a chance of missing. So that would mean if theoretically I had the best shot possible, I could still miss. Now, just to give you a little example of that, in XCOM, for the purposes of this argument, the best shot you can have is a flanking shot with height advantage, which would be right here. If my guy was right here and they had height advantage and I shot, and even if I had a 99% chance to hit, it could still miss. Now the problem with that is it made all your work and getting the tactical advantage, if you missed, it made it feel worthless, and it made it feel like you were playing the game wrong, even though you were playing the game exactly how the game intended it, exactly how the game developers intended you to play. And it was just a bad luck thing. Like you would miss just because the shot percentage would choose that you missed. Now, one of the ways that, the first way that Phoenix Point deals with this is this right here. Now, in XCOM, this would be where the preparation for the shot ends. But at Phoenix Point, they do it a little bit different. Now, you can see on the enemy, I have these two little circles. And if you can't see them, I'm going to zoom in just so you can get a closer look at it. Now, we have these two circles here. Now, for the purposes of demonstration, the inner circle represents a hit, and the outer circle will represent a miss. And what that means is I know exactly where I'm shooting. It's still percentage based because that circle is based on the percentage to hit. But this would be good percentage, about 70, maybe 90%. And you can see that even with a miss, I will still hit the enemy. I know exactly where I'm hitting at. Another thing they've done is they've allowed you to free aim, so you can choose exactly where you want to hit. But these two circles right here in this system is so much better than XCOM's percentage-based shooting, because with this you get the best of percentage-based shooting by giving you a percentage to hit a chance to hit the enemy, a percentage-based chance, but you know exactly where it's going to go. Now let me show you a shot with bad percentage. Let me just go to my heavy right here.
Heading out.
And right there, you can see that the circle is much bigger because I have a bad percentage. And essentially, it's a 50-50 shot at this point. Let me just get some water real quick. Excuse me. You can see that's a 50% chance to hit. But still, I know where my shot's going to hit. And it allows you to plan your shots a lot better, making the game a lot more tactical. Because now I know there's a 50% chance to hit, and it demonstrates it on screen. And if I shoot with this soldier, I know I'm guaranteed a hit, even though I have about a 70% chance. Now the second problem that Phoenix Point solved that XCOM had was if the enemy had high cover. Now in XCOM, if the enemy had high cover, like say this right here, they would be nearly impossible to hit. Theoretically, you could hit them behind high cover, but it would take about 20 shots to get that one shot where you hit the enemy. Now the way that Phoenix Point solved this is by having physically based shots. If I shoot, this shot will go directly from this player right here, my character, right to the enemy. Now you might ask, how does this help deal with high cover? But first, let's go back to XCOM and show you the exact problem with high cover. What the game wants you to do when the enemy has high cover is flank the enemy. Now the problem with that is, most of the time, you're not facing one enemy. You're facing two enemies like I'm doing here. Now, in XCOM, if this enemy was behind this and he had high cover, my only option would be to go behind here. That's what the game wants me to do. The problem with that is, even if I went behind here and then hit the enemy in the back, behind his high cover, I will be vulnerable to this enemy right here. You can see that that's a bad strategy. The only other strategy I would have would be to shoot through the high cover and hit the enemy, which would take forever. And that would slow down the game, and it wasn't very tactical, and once the enemy had high cover, it kind of felt like it was impossible. Now the way that Phoenix Point solved this is giving you physically shooting. And let me just go back to my heavy and free aiming. So when the enemy has high cover, now this becomes an option. Oh, I missed it. Let me try to shoot it with another soldier. You can see I can free aim, but I can also aim at the high cover and just take the high cover out. Now the high cover is no longer a problem, and I can shoot the enemy. Now the way it's balanced is that my soldier lost a shot. I didn't shoot at the enemy, so he can't shoot anymore. But now the enemy no longer has high cover, and I can shoot him freely. Now the third problem that that Phoenix Point solves that XCOM had is one that's not immediately obvious, and that's because of the gameplay. Now let's talk about XCOM and XCOM 2's gameplay. What they want you to do is get the most tactically advantageous position in the game, and then shoot at the enemy. That would be something like here. And because of that, once you have the tactical advantage, they want you to immediately be able to kill the enemy. That means every enemy in the game has to be able to die within about maybe 1 to 3 shots. Every normal enemy. A boss enemy can have higher health because it's a boss. But by giving you the ability to kill every enemy within 1 to 3 shots, because that's how the game works, they have to increase the enemy damage. That means if you leave an enemy alive, he's able to kill you within 1, maybe 2 turns, which was essentially every enemy in XCOM, which means you had to deal with the enemy right away. This means the enemy could not have high health. Now in Phoenix Point, they give you the ability to shoot at individual body parts. This allows you to deal with the enemies in a different way. They give you more options and more tactics to deal with them. Now I'm going to try to shoot his gun off right here just to show you. And I think his gun got destroyed. Let me just check. No, I'm going to destroy it right here. Now you can see his gun is now destroyed. Just go to a different soldier.
I see him. Preparing to fire.
His gun is now destroyed and he can't attack me anymore. This gives me a another option to deal with the enemies rather than straight out killing them. This allows the enemies in the game to have higher health and have higher armor ratings than in XCOM, because there's different ways to deal with them rather than just straight up killing them. This also allows enemies to do less damage. Just to kill me, this enemy would need, or kill one of my characters, he would need like 2 or 3 shots, which draws out the game and gives you a more tactical setting, because now you don't have the one shot one kill thing, because it doesn't need to be like that anymore. And these changes, I thought Phoenix Point made are brilliant, because XCOM had 2 games to figure out this, while Phoenix Point had 1, and they just did it so much better. And I just thought that was interesting from a game developer's point of view, which is why I want to talk about it on my channel.
On my way.
And he just made the whole game flow much smoother and feel more tactical, because now I don't have to worry about my guys getting killed in like one shotted. Now that still can happen, but they make sure it's not by like basic enemies, it's by higher level enemies. And also they give you just a bunch more options to deal with them, because not only can I destroy his weapon like that, I can shoot his legs to slow him down, or I can shoot his other arm to destroy his shield, or I can shoot his carapace and go through his armor. And all this makes for a much more interesting and tactical engagement than could ever exist in XCOM, because of the way the gameplay was. And I just thought that was a brilliant choice by the developers. Now, in other aspects, this game is far worse than XCOM, but in this particular aspect, it's far better. And I just wanted to talk about that. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.